guys that just came off of 18 that started on the back nine are making the turn right now and getting ready to play the front nine. From what I understand, from a little easier to score on, and that the front nine is a little tighter and a little trickier. That's what sources close to me tell me, because I haven't played the track yet. I'm going to play the track. I can tell you that right now. I'll be talking to my boy Ross Roberts from Bailey Equipment Rental, and he and I are going to go play this track at some particular point in time, but certainly not going to be doing that anytime real soon. Now, I'm not going to whisper. All right, I can't roll that way. Not lost on us is that tonight is the first round of the NFL draft, where all 32 teams will select a game changer who will make multiple Pro Bowls and be a potential Hall of Famer, except that nearly half of them will wash out. I mean, it's just the facts, all right? I've got some names we can never forget that we forgot from over the years. I'm going to share that with you. And a fun list of the last first-rounder from each SEC team. Not first round overall. I'm just talking about just a first rounder from each SEC team. Now, I'm going to put the over and under of SEC teams that will have a first rounder tonight at 5.5. That's where I'm going. I'm going 5.5 on the number of SEC teams that will have a first rounder tonight. Alabama, of course, Georgia, they'll both have multiples. Texas A&M, LSU, and I think Mississippi State are locks there. Arkansas should have one as well. Arkansas would make 6. That would be six different SEC teams, not players from the SEC. I'm talking about there could be 8 or 10, 11 players from the SEC picked in the first round. I'm talking about 6 different SEC schools, 5 or 6 different SEC schools will have players in the first round. Alabama and Georgia are going to have multiple first-round picks, but 6 different teams, if you know what I'm saying. Now, if you know what's on your mind and you want to get into the show, certainly we'll take your phone calls. Phone lines are open at 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. As always, it will get you on the show ASAP, and we'll take your calls, and you can also communicate with us via the text window. It's 7329-TA-SHOW. That's 732-982-7469. You text the text line, you call the call line. All right, I hope that's clear. All right, we're not splitting the atom here. All right, if you're going to send me a text, you use the text line. If you're going to call us, then you call us at 256-576-4977. My personal Twitter feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's Twitter feed is at 97.7 ESPN. There's a lot of good stuff being posted there right now. Pictures going up and so on. At some point in time, if not now, I'm not sure, be honest with you. Oh, yeah, maybe. At some point in time, you can watch the show on Twitch at 97.7 ESPN and on our YouTube channel at 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Like and subscribe there. Get your notifications and so on as well. Don't forget our Facebook page as well. You can watch the show at 97.7 ESPN on Facebook, and we can communicate with you there, and there's all kinds of cool stuff there, show clips and everything else. Just go to 977ESPN.com. Get links to all of that stuff. And while you're at it, get the app. There you'll find a link to Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4, our alternate streaming channels for more great programming. You're going to need it tonight. You will need it tonight, because tonight we have the Braves and the Cubs on Zone 2. The Tide and the Gamecocks are playing baseball over the air and on our primary stream. The NFL Draft will be on Zone 4, and then after the Tide Gamecocks game, it will switch to on air. Okay, so if you want to follow the draft right from the beginning, you go to Zone 4, all right, and you'll be able to follow it there. So have to get the app. I mean, thousands of people have done it. Get the app. You can follow everything on the app, and away you go. Just stay on top of all our social pages, and we'll help you find out where all of that programming is. Now, tomorrow morning, Talking Ball will originate once again here from the Ledges. I'm going to be back in studio, but Talking Ball will be out here from the Ledges. And this is different from where we were for Media Day. Media Day, we were up on the second level, up a little bit higher, where sunshine came in. All right, today we are in the lower level. It's very, very beautiful here at the Ledges. I mean, this rock, the amount of stone and rock, and they must have had some Italian masons do this, because this is what my people do. They do this stone work like this, and it's absolutely gorgeous, but it's a little medieval. I'm going to tell you, it's a little bit medieval. You feel like you're a little bit in a little bit of a medieval type of spot. Right in front of us, on the other side of the security guards, is the old putting green. And they've got that set up with, like, cornhole and putting and things like that. I guess people can do. There's also a very nice scoreboard that is set up right here as well. And then right beyond that is the new putting green. And nobody is on that putting green, which is kind of interesting to me. There's a lot of guys on the course now. I think most of the guys are out on the course now. The lead is 5 under out here, and it is I'm just looking at – I'm not seeing who the leaders are. There's a scoreboard that is – I always need to get the scoreboard up on my computer. There's a scoreboard up on Scott's computer, but it doesn't really have the leaders up here. It just has the tee times that are coming up a little bit later on. All right, so we got lots to get to on the show today. Coming up shortly, Tom Perkins of TOC Sports will join me out here on our set. TOC has a tent set up behind the 9th hole. I'm looking forward to going out to their tent when I get off the air, but they've got a tent set up behind the 9th hole, and Tommy will be out here. Tom plays golf. I play golf. Tom has an appreciation for this. Anytime there is something significant going on in the Tennessee Valley, TOC Sports is there. I mean, it's just the way it is. And they're here as well. So Tommy will join me here in a little bit on set. Then at the top of the 11th, Steve Merril is back from ProSportsInfo.com. Did you know that the NFL draft is one of the most bet-on things in the sports calendar, on the sports calendar each year? People love to bet the NFL draft. And Merril's going to give us some props and so on and so forth that you can bet on the NFL draft, like over or under how many SEC schools will have players selected in the first round tonight. All right, you could live bet the NFL draft. It's amazing. And, of course, the draft is in Vegas this year. So you think there's going to be some action going on in Vegas? Yeah, I think there'll be some action going on in Vegas this year as well. We'll also get his thoughts on the NBA playoffs and Major League Baseball as well. Last night it was the Golden State Warriors punching their ticket through to the second round of the playoffs, getting the victory over Denver last night in a hard-fought game. They had to come back to get that win, and it was Milwaukee taking out Chicago last night as well. So NBA, we'll get his thoughts on that. Major League Baseball, we'll get his thoughts there as well. Of course, Major League Baseball, the big story in these parts is the fact that Ronald Acuna Jr. is in the lineup tonight. I mean, that's a pretty cool thing. So Ronald Acuna Jr. will be in the lineup tonight, and I'm not 100% sure whether he is going to be DHing or whether or not he's going to be in the outfield. Grizz knows. I'll find out from him. The NFL Network's Mark Sessler has posted 10 locks for tonight's NFL draft, including the Seahawks sending a 4th-round draft pick to the Browns for former number 1 overall pick Baker Mayfield, and moving up in the second round, with the Browns moving up in the second round to get George Pickens. He also says that the Titans will move up in the second round to take Sam Howell out of UNC after taking Treylon Burks in the first round. Burks is a very interesting case study. I think he's a first-rounder. I think he's one that's going to do very, very well, to be quite honest with you, in the NFL. Some people think he's kind of stiff and he's not very athletic. So we'll see. I mean, he could fall out of the first round. Somebody will get a steal in the second round. I don't think he'll be around in the second round. He has the Lions taking Matt Corral. These are locks now. These are his locks. He has Lions taking Matt Corral, not with the second pick overall, but in the second round. And he has the Steelers moving up in the first round to get Malik Willis. More on Malik Willis here in a moment. And Falcon fan, he says Evan Neal to the Falcons at number 8, which I know Marcus Mariota or whoever is quarterback there will be very, very happy to have Evan Neal on the left side for the next 10 years or so. All right, over in a little glass room, playing the Platters That Matter and the Stacks of Wax and answering the phones and keeping us on the air and dealing with all of this while we're out here at the KORN Ferry Tour, at the Ledges, at the Huntsville Championship, is the one and only Coach Grizz. Grizz is like, am I supposed to play this? I don't know if I'm supposed to play. Grizz, how you doing, Grizz?
In the blue hell are you? What is your name?
It doesn't matter what your name is. I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a 1-hour television spectacular.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Now, Tom. Hey, Tom.
He may be the smartest person that I've ever met.
Testosterone high today. What's that? Testosterone, whatever the it is. Testosterone.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Hey, Grizzlicious, how you doing, man?
I'm doing just fine. I'm getting ready for that draft. And who did you say was saying that Evan Neal would be there?
Mark Sessler of the NFL Network. These are his locks.
Okay.
And he says the Atlanta Falcons take Evan Neal at number 8. Would you be happy with that pick?
I would be very happy with that pick. I think it's a guy that if he's not ready right away and he's a guy that needs to learn a little bit, then he's going to be a guy that's going to fit in right behind Matthews. If not, he's going to play right away on the other side of the ball. Or
he could be left guard. Remember, he played left guard, so he can play guard. I think he plays right away. I don't think
no, without a doubt. But I think there's
but not a left tackle necessarily.
No, because there's always this thought of like, how much longer does Jake Matthews have? Like, how much longer do the Falcons have with Jake Matthews? To be honest with you. But you need a guy you need a guy for long term. Even if you're looking for a quarterback maybe later in the draft, or if you're looking for a quarterback next year, you just need to stockpile some linemen. Like you need to get some linemen right now, because that's the one thing I feel like obviously the Atlanta Falcons for so many years have not been able to do. They've not been able to draft linemen, and it's just been a killer.
Yeah, and I think this. I don't think Marcus Mariota is going to suck. All right? I'm just going to tell you right now. I don't think that Marcus Mariota is going to suck. I think that he is going to play all right. Marcus Mariota could be this generation's Rich Gannon, a guy that kind of bounced around, didn't do much early in his career, and then had a really solid final 5 years of his career, something like that. I just have this feeling about Mariota, and I think that he has an opportunity to be good, and I could see him being like a comeback player of the year type of candidate this year. I know that you're not excited about him. I like Marcus Mariota, and I think that something good could happen this year with Marcus Mariota.
I wouldn't say necessarily I'm not excited about him. I don't know. I got to see it. You know what I mean? I got to see it, and I think he's under the right head coach. He's been there before. I think it's going to be a nice piece. I think they're going to keep it simple for him. I think if you can get, even if they were talking this morning on Talking Ball, and I wanted to try to get my perspective on it, but it's where we're looking at where, we can go Evan Neal, or the Falcons can go, maybe a Drake London. Maybe they do need another weapon to kind of help out on offense. But to be honest with you, I don't buy into the Kayvon Thibodeau stuff. I don't want to see him on the Falcons. To be honest with you, I just don't. I just see another, what I said yesterday. I see another Vic Beasley. I see another guy that's just, all flash, and I don't know if it's going to be a good fit over there. But I would say this: they already have 2 additions in the secondary with AJ Terrell, and they had Casey Hayward brought over, but if they're going to go secondary, if they do go possibly Sauce Gardner, if he's there, I don't think he's going to be there. If not, Derek Stingley, even though we talk about Derek Stingley hasn't done much the last couple of years other than really just get injured and really hasn't done much. But I think if you look at the Falcons, I think it's smart to go Evan Neal if he does fall, and hopefully not. Maybe you can get a Charles Cross. Maybe you can get somebody that maybe you get the Conwu from NC State. And maybe that'll be something that they could go. I see a lot of good options right there to bolster the offensive line and help Marcus Mariota out, even if you don't try to look for a quarterback for the future.
So I took the shuttle up, and I had to park at the old Grissom High School.
Yes.
Now let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Is the old Grissom High School, that's where you went to high school? Is this correct?
Correct.
All right.
My entire family except for my little brother.
So I was walking to where you have to get the shuttle, which is right by the old front door of the old Grissom High School.
Correct.
And they had these. When did the old Grissom High School become the old Grissom High School? In 2018? Does that sound about right?
I believe so. Something like that, yeah.
Something like that? Okay. So the old Grissom High School, as you're walking down the bus lane to get to where you get picked up, there are these paw prints. Okay, these are the Grissom Tiger paw prints. And each paw print has, like, the name of somebody in something significant that they did, while they were at Grissom High. It was almost like a walk of fame type thing.
Right.
I will say I was unable to find the Chad Gwathney paw print at the old Grissom High when I was walking around to get the shuttle. I did not see a Chad Gwathney paw print.
Yeah, no,
so I don't know what's up with that.
I guess I wasn't memorable. I wasn't the most popular kid in school. I hung out with my own crowd.
It would be memorable, not rememberable.
Memorable, yes.
Apparently that Grissom education really helped you.
Or.
It was not. You were not rememberable.
Hey, I graduated, so
yeah,
I graduated. Yes. Thank you very much.
The Grissom degree is helping you well.
But yeah,
I did not see. I got to be honest with you. I didn't see Smokey Mike either. I didn't see a Smokey Mike.
He was
maybe.
Well, he was probably on the best. Yeah, no, he was definitely on the best teams. But he didn't have a paw print
player.
Either. He had the best. Yeah, he had the best years as a football player until they made the playoffs a few years ago. So it was. Yeah. It was. Yeah, no, I enjoyed going to Old Grissom. Old Grissom was great, man. As much as everyone wanted to trash Old Grissom, man, I'll take the experiences that I got at Old Grissom, man. It was a lot of fun. If anyone knows, no bathrooms or no doors on the bathrooms, just like the crazy things that went on half the time when we were going to class, when the entire air conditioning unit went out and the floors were basically melting.
I mean, that sounds like a wonderful experience.
There were so many.
I wish I could have done that.
Today, they would just go crazy. These kids would just not be able to handle it because half the time they're at home. So I mean, it was absolutely fun, man. I miss Old Grissom, man.
Grizz, I got to tell you, there's like stalagmites or stalactites. I feel like I'm in a cave. I'm going to take a picture and send it to you. You can post it.
Great. I've been out there before.
No, not there. I'm talking about here at the ledges. I just noticed where we're broadcasting from. It's in the arch that we are looking through.
It's nice.
Has like stuff dripping, man. I don't know where it's coming from, though. It's kind of weird. All right, let me get a break in here. When we come back, Tom Perkins is going to join me from TOC Sports. I'm seeing TOC Sports banners. There's a TOC Sports tent. If there's something going on that is meaningful in Huntsville, like the Huntsville Classic, TOC is on the scene, and they are on the scene here as well. Tommy joins me next right here on set. It's the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
The 2022 NFL Draft underway tonight. Aiden Hutchinson favorite to be taken defensive end Kayvon Thibodeau plus 900. 9 days till the 2022 Kentucky Derby. Epicenter the odds-on favorite at plus 400. Messier and Taba each at plus 650. Zandon plus 1800. NBA playoffs game 6 tonight between the Sixers and the Raptors. Philadelphia the 1.5 point road favorite to 10.5 total. In the West, the Suns a 2 point favorite at the Pelicans in game 6. The over-under at 214. Mavericks and Jazz a pick'em 209.5 the total in game 6.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now. and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialist from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Two Maids and a Mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. Two Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at twomaidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. Two Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440. Hey, Wes, we show up.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us, too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The world champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their world championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
There goes Ozzie, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game. You betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Thursday, expect plenty of sunshine. High temperatures will top out near 80 degrees for the afternoon. For your Thursday night, expect a partly cloudy sky. Low temperatures will fall into the mid and upper 50s for the overnight. It looks like rain will return back to the forecast Saturday night. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Want to save some money?
I can take money and I can make it into more money.
Just check out our zone deals online at 977ESPN.com. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, I give. Welcome back. Thom Abraham Show on a Throwback Thursday with Throwback TV theme music. This segment of the show is brought to you by TOC Sports. For all your injury needs, no matter how you got hurt, it's TOC Sports. You know, it says TOC Sports, but maybe you got hurt working in your yard. Maybe you got hurt at your job. Maybe you got hurt because you're just an old dude like me. And, you need to have a shoulder tuned up or an elbow or something like that. TOC Sports can take care of you, and it's more than just surgery. It's therapy. It's everything that they do at TOC Sports. But they do have a specialist for basically every single part of your body. So that's what you can find at TOC Sports. And they have supported the Thom Abraham Show, I'm going to say, for 15 years anyway. It's been that long and been in the market for over 20 years. Grizz, I give. What was that? That was really cool. But
that was
what
actually
was that
the ESPN golf theme from like the early 2000s.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So I thought I'd open that up a little bit, just
that's
to
a good job by you. You
theme.
need to.
I've been doing it all morning, so it's good. It's good.
Oh,
I'm trying to work
see.
this morning.
I see.
Trying to actually work.
Yeah. Well, we got to get our TV theme songs in there too. But yeah, I see how you're working. Tom Perkins joins me out here on set as well. Grizz, by the way, did you see the picture I sent you of the stalagmites over the arch? Did you see that?
Yes, I did. That's very nice. That's fancy. That's extra cool.
I don't know what those are. You need to post that on the Twitter. It's a little bit spooky. Tommy Perkins out here with me.
It's got to be some kind of insect bug thing.
That's what I'm afraid of. To be honest with you, I'm afraid because it doesn't look like it's coming. It's not a leak or anything coming from the upstairs patio or anything. They are dripping, but there's. Did you notice they're not anywhere else except for right above us here?
Huh.
It's a little
peculiar.
It's a peculiar. Good word. Huh. It's peculiar. What those might be, I don't know. I don't know what that is coming from, but it is dripping.
It totally is a stalagmite. Yeah, you're right.
Is it like a stalagmite?
Yeah, it is.
Now, what's the one that comes from the bottom?
Stalactite.
Stalactites from the bottom and stalagmites
from the top.
Mite is from the top.
We're probably going to get a Facebook here in a second.
That? How do you know that?
or I got them reversed.
8th grade.
You must not have went to Grissom. Or you must not have went to Old Grissom.
I learned that at Grissom, actually.
No, I didn't because I never went to the restrooms. So
yeah.
They were the worst.
This is this is really cool. It's really neat
great
to have a tournament like this here. Certainly at the Ledges, and the Ledges itself is just an absolute gem. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You've played here. I haven't. I have a standing invitation now to play here from my buddy Ross Roberts.
Which you should take. Which you should.
I'm going to take. You need to tune the game up a little bit though first. But I haven't swung in a while, so you think you probably should tune it up a little bit before you come here.
You need to do some proper TOC instructed stretches.
Yes,
stretches rather before you start, and then you play your 18, and then you come see us afterwards.
I will have to see it
with what hurts.
You put me in traction afterwards. Do you have to be a billy goat to walk around here? But are you taking?
Yeah, I think you do.
I mean,
you really do. But see, I think that's what makes That's what makes this course so monumentally unique and special. I've had the privilege of growing up on golf courses and playing golf most of my life, so I can not only appreciate the game, I can certainly appreciate the guys that play it at this level. But to have that skill set come here to this course is really, to me is a challenge. Just having played it myself, hills, peaks, and valleys, everything slopes off the mountain.
Yeah.
Everything, every green, if you hit it long, you're off the mountain. I mean, every single hole is a challenge, every single one. And once you get through 1 and 2, you take the valley dive down into 3, 4, 5, 6, which is way down into a valley, and then you have to climb back up for 7, 8, 9. And, yeah, it is. It actually is a little less wind down there, but then you come back, you play the back 9, which is pretty much on the upper side of the southern side of the mountain, and then you get the wind. But everything, it's a challenge the way it's set up. But what makes it so great is the quality of the course.
Yeah,
the grass, the greens, the
fairways are impeccable.
Fairways are impeccable. Even the rough is the right type of rough that you expect. And I've said from the very first time I played this course, I played a lot of courses in and around this area, and this is one of, if not the nicest course here.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock to any other course. This is just
it's not open to the public. It's not like you can call. You can't call and say, "Hey, I'm coming down. You got a tee time at 9:28."
Hey, Ledges, give me an 8:20.
It's not like that.
No, it don't work that way.
You got to know somebody, or you're playing in a tournament here, or something like that. One of the hit and giggle type tournaments here. It's intimidating looking, and that's, you mentioned the players that are out here. the skill level of these guys is absolutely amazing. And I know we're talking about KORN Ferry, which is basically the AAA level of the PGA Tour. But 2 years ago, Scotty Scheffler was playing out here. He's now the #1 player in the world, just won a Masters.
You know, it's so funny you equated it to baseball because I was talking to my best friend in Atlanta. Hey, Steve, in case you're listening. He asked me.
Steve is your best friend?
Steve's my best friend.
I didn't know that Steve is your best friend.
Yeah.
Steve Moulton is your best friend?
No.
Oh, not Steve Moulton. A different Steve. Oh,
Different
okay.
Steve.
All right. When you said Steve from Atlanta, Steve from Atlanta, I'm thinking of Moulton.
But Steve Moulton's in the
he's
top 5.
He's high on our list.
Steve, if you're listening, you're in the top 5.
Yeah, he's up on the list.
Yeah. But I was telling him.
He's in my top 10.
I was trying to
explain. He's top 5. My top 10 for me. Yeah.
So I was trying to explain to him, what the actual tournament was, the level, the type of play, this type of thing. And I was I was explaining it to him scientifically. And he said, look, I'm a baseball fan. Can you kind of equate it to baseball? And honestly, I thought for a second, you said AAA. I say this is more AA. And it's not because listen, because I say it's AA because at AA, that's where the young pups come in, the talent. That's where they nurture it really good. And if these guys are good enough and strong enough, they'll make that jump.
But there's nothing between these guys and the tour. That's why I say AAA. And there's been a number of guys that were tour players. They lose their card. They come back down. This is where they go, right here. There is a AA level. There really is. I forget what it's the Space Coast Tour or whatever it is, down in Florida. There are tours that are at that level. Yeah. These guys, though, when you talk about Will Zalatoris, he played here a couple of years ago. He's been on the front page of the leaderboard at the Masters the last
2 years in a row.
2 years. Like I say, Scotty Scheffler's the #1 player in the world, was on the KORN Ferry Tour in 2019. Yeah. So these guys are ready to go. In fact, this is what I think. If you want to see pure talent, swing talent, come and watch these guys. Yeah. Come and watch these guys for pure swing talent. And here's the difference between these guys and the guys on the tour. 6 inches, and it's the 6 inches between your ears.
It's true.
It's true.
No, it's true because at this level, you know what it's like.
Yes, the big tour is so mental. These guys are they got beautiful swings. They're a bunch of flat bellies. They're out here. They all played top level college golf and everything else. But the difference between here and the guys that make it on the big tour is the fact that mentally they are so tough. It is such a grind. I'm watching these guys here with a small crowd on 18, watching them come down at early on the first day. You're not going to have the crowds that you'll have here over the weekend, and they're grinding over the shots. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like the focus and the concentration that you got to have, and then you take that times 5 and take it to the big tour. In those kind of situations.
You've got guys out here who have been on the tour and have made scraps in terms of money. You have other guys out here that have had success, and at this level, that's what it is. You eat what you kill. So every single shot matters, every single play matters, every single hole matters. And I think that with that added chutzpah, I guess if you will, that added charge in you, that really contributes to the mental game. But that also, in my mind, makes you hone in a little bit more. It makes you focus in a little bit more, really trying to get an understanding of the gravity of what's going on. But in terms of talent, like you said, there ain't a kid out here that's not a specimen. And we were out here at the Pro-Am yesterday at number 10. TOC had a 10 out here, and we were handing out bags and talking to pros and amateurs alike. And every pro that teed off, we must have seen at least 26 pros, and only 2 were OB. Only 2.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, too, is that you
the rest were down the middle. I mean, it's amazing.
It would be hard to pull the trigger. And these guys here, they're ripping it. Because you look at 18 fairway again, because that's the hole I saw,
right.
or 1 fairway here. It looks like it's a narrow, fairly narrow landing area. And the average player, even a player like you and I who played all our lives, you stand there and you look out there and you see there's trees to the right and there's a valley to the left. There's a mountain to the left that is, that goes down. You're looking at that. They're looking at, well, the ball's only, it's only a golf ball, and the fairway is, hell, it's 50 yards wide. There's plenty of room to put it, but we don't see that. I stand there on the tee. I don't know if I can pull the trigger because I'm looking at it. It's like, am I going to hook this? But it's amazing to watch guy after guy after guy rip it right down the middle.
This is a par 70 course, so they only have 3 par 5s.
Is it like that for?
No, this is unique.
They play it at par 70, or
it's usually 71.
70
on a rare occasion, it's 72, but it's usually 70, 71.
The pros playing it as a 70.
What makes this interesting? They only have 3 par 5s. All right, 2 of them are in the front 9, and one of them is I think is actually number 10. So the rest of the course is par 3s and 4s. And I remember talking to guys last year like Lee Hodges. Talked to a guy, saw a buddy that I remember last year.
By the way, Lee Hodges, $1 million already.
There you go.
$1 million
less
already.
Than a year.
He's not less than a year.
Less than a year.
Not that he ended April yet. Yeah. Lee Hodges, $1 million.
But I'm talking to these guys I hear about this course here, and most of them have said, look, this is just not the kind of course where you pack your big driver in. Yeah, you'll have your holes where you can probably tear into one, but the fact of the matter is it's control, it's finesse, because like you said, Tom, to the right it's the woods, to the left it's off the mountain. And if you shoot it across the green too far, you're off the mountain too. It's a very, very particular course with technique. Now, that requires technique. Now, to accompany that, you're going to see scores out here in the double digits for sure. So these guys have the skill set to navigate
That's what's amazing.
This. They have the skill set to navigate this.
Yeah.
And you ask them and you say, what are your thoughts on this course? And of course, most of what they say is it's unique. It's not like anything we've played before. But you never hear these guys talk about, it's tough. The hills are challenging. But it's almost they just adjust their game to what the course is. We talked yesterday, actually Tuesday, to a young man, Yvonne Rebula. He came over to our Practice Like a Pro event on Tuesday. He's he doesn't like to say this out loud. He's the nephew of Ernie Els. He's Ernie Els' nephew. So this guy came over and talked to us. Certainly, just genuine guy. Just an absolute genuine guy. And I asked him. I said, "Look, when you come to a course you've never played before, what's the first thing you do?" And he's like, "Research. I've got to come out here. I've got to know what we've got. I've got to know what." Where the landing spots are, what I need to look for, where I need to go, all the specifics, clubs, and all that. So it's straight up research. But all it is taking their skill set and coming to a course, doing the research and adapting and applying their skill set. And you're going to see that on display the rest of the week, because these guys, it's not inconceivable to take half a dozen, even a dozen, and throw their names in the PGA Tour next year, because it very, very well could likely happen.
Well, I think the top 25 in terms of total standings at the end of the year.
Points, yeah.
They qualify for the PGA Tour. They move up. I'm looking for the card to see what they're playing this thing at today, and I see the hold. I'm not seeing the lengths, but it's funny. We talk in relative terms as to this is more of a shot maker's course. This is like my favorite course in the whole world is Harbor Town that I've played. The favorite course that I've played in the whole world is Harbor Town.
Right.
Harbor Town is a shot maker's course, and so it's not just a bomber's course. Having said that, they're playing, routine par fours now, 440, 450, 460. I mean, it used to be back in the day, you would step up and it would a 410-yard par four was a long par four. Years ago when I was playing college golf. That was a long par four. Of course, we were hitting a persimmon driver. The metal drivers had just come out and everything else. The ball was like a sock.
Oh, yeah.
You could move the ball left, right, sideways. I mean, the ball was so much softer. The ball now is
no
much
movement,
harder.
no anything.
Stuart Sink told me he hits the ball now further than he ever hit it in his life.
Technology is incredible
because of the technology.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And it takes. I mean, they're hitting where we used to. My 150 club, if you will, was always 8-iron. All right, that was my 150, 155, 158. I'd hit a 7-iron type thing. These guys hit wedge at 150 all the time, like it's nothing.
So you say 450-yard par four, and in my mind, I'm thinking driver pitching wedge for these guys.
For these guys,
yeah.
Right.
So, and in some cases, you give them a short par four, they're going to tear into one and hopefully, aim for the green. You can be aggressive out here, you can, but it's massive risk reward. It's massive risk reward. If you could just regulation, I think, is what's going to keep you competitive out here.
Is it largely a second shot type of golf course? Is the key, like if you get off the tee, you're in great shape, or is it all about the second shot here where the approaches, because these greens look like they're super slick and fast.
They are fast. They are
sloping.
Well, with me, Tom, it's always the drive. It's always how do you start the hole? How do you start out of the gate?
Yeah.
Now for these guys, it's not much. I don't think it's that much of a problem to get it off the tee. I think what their biggest challenge is, okay, I'm going to hit it, but where do I need it to land for that second shot? So yeah, I think in many cases, the drive shot is as important as the second shot, but what your second shot is normally that shot into the green. And like I said earlier, you've got to get it either on the green or just shy of, because everything around it is typically off the mountain. You just can't go long. You just can't go long.
The reason I ask that is, to me, it seems like this is a place where if you're spraying it at all, pro or otherwise, if you're spraying it at all, there is no relief.
No.
It isn't like you can go in and get out of jail. Like at Augusta, the drive is important, but there are times where you can hit it onto the pine straw. You still have a look. You still have a shot.
Right.
Here, it seems like you either hit the fairway or you're off the mountain.
Or
you know what I
right.
mean? You know what I mean? It's like if you hit the fairway, now you can go play golf, because now they're approach. For these guys, anything under 170 yards going in, they're hitting. Whatever they're hitting in, they're those are scoring clubs for them. But it would be brutal for me if you get off. If you don't hit it right off the tee, you're looking at 6 or 7 right off the bat. It seems like.
Well, most of the shots, if most of the shots to the left, if you were to shank one or just put one off to the left, the out of bounds markers are typically on the cliff of the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
So if it goes off that side, not only you don't have a conceivable shot. You'd be stupid to try and climb down there and see if you could find
that's what I'm saying. You're like,
where
did it cross the edge of the mountain? I'm dropping, or I'm hitting 3 off the tee.
Exactly. So it's
T-ball.
In many
is
cases,
here.
it's darts.
Yeah.
In many cases, it's darts.
There's a legend behind you, by the way.
Who's that? Is it Steve Moulton?
No, it's not Steve Moulton. That's Nick from Nick's Restaurant.
Oh, get out of here! I've never met this guy.
That's the.
How are you, sir?
That's the
Pleasure
original. That's and
cool.
I cannot believe that he's not sucking on a stogie because he's outside.
Hey,
by
Nick.
the way, be careful. You're on camera. By the way, you're now Chad. Look who it is. Chad.
Hey,
Chad's Nick from Nick's Restaurant is out here, and he did not bring us a steak or anything. He didn't bring us any food.
That's
he's
my
just
man
out here.
right there.
I assume this is your lovely wife. Or is it your girlfriend? One of you, or both,
that is
hopefully.
The beautiful
your wife
Miss
and your
Kay.
girlfriend is good. How are you?
That is the beautiful Miss
That's
Kay.
Kay.
You better
Hey,
treat her
Kay,
with
how are you?
respect.
Nice to meet you. Thom Abraham. Nice to meet you. Tom Perkins
Hey,
from
Miss
TOC.
Kay. How are you? Pleasure to meet you.
No, Chad is not coming in. He's not allowed to come out. Chad is you can see
No,
Chad over there. See, there's Chad. He's back in the Chad's in the
Chad needed a special invitation to come up here on the Legends,
Chad's
didn't
in
you,
the
buddy?
studio.
Yeah.
He might get out here at some particular point in time. But yeah. No, I hear you. Well, good. Thank you, man. Good seeing you. Nick from Nick's Restaurant.
I pass by it all the time.
Yeah,
Hear great things about
right
it all
down
the time.
street.
Yeah, all the time.
All right, before we end this segment, you guys tell me who your guy that we were on last year has made $1 million on the big tour already.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Who's carrying the TOC colors here?
The guy I just mentioned, Yvonne Rebula. That's
Ernie Els' nephew.
Ernie Els' nephew. Yeah.
Ernie Els'
but,
nephew.
to his credit, he's really worked hard.
What time's he tee off?
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know. He played with one of our docs yesterday. But this kid is really working hard to make a name of his on his own. He understands. I told him, you have some of the best teachers you could possibly imagine. You've got your uncle. He tells me his grandfather was heavily influential in helping him play golf and be successful at golf.
Is he South African?
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah. He's South African.
So
as
he
well,
speaks
so.
he speaks.
Yeah, he
the
went to
King's,
Auburn. He's an Auburn
Speaks
grad.
the King's English.
Speaks
He went to Auburn.
Went to
now.
Auburn, which is kind of the local connection right there with him.
Heath Slocum is playing here today.
Heath
There's a guy.
Slocum,
Heath
yeah.
Slocum off the PGA Tour.
Yeah,
That's why I say
exactly.
this is just.
Yeah.
It's just a cut down. A guy loses a card. Sean O'Hare. We've seen Sean O'Hare on a PGA Tour for
seen
years
him
and years.
too.
He's out here today. I don't think your guy is teed off yet. Is
Not
what
yet.
I'm looking at right
Not
now.
yet.
Yeah, I
Well,
think he's coming up a little bit later.
Before we go, I just wanted to say a quick word. We are thrilled to be part of this tournament. This is the premier event in Huntsville, and TOC is proud to be associated with it. This is a premier elite sporting event. Even if you don't love golf, come out, enjoy the day. It's $11. It's $11 to come up here and
Is that all
spend
it
the
is?
whole. Yeah, you can walk the course for $11.
$11.
Yep, for the whole day. So come out, enjoy this. This is great. Look, special shout out to our to Huntsville
And
Hospital.
the weather's going to be spectacular all weekend.
Weather's going to be great. Weather's going to be great. I got to say a special shout out to our athletic trainers, our Huntsville Hospital athletic trainers. They're upstairs right now. They're making sure all these guys are set to go when they hit the
Nice.
tees. So that's a service that our guys provide, which we're thrilled to do. Love this tournament. Great organization, great guys to work with and affiliate with. And again, when I talk to our athletic trainers afterwards, I always ask them, what were the guys like? 10 times out of 10, they're so genuine.
Yeah.
Super nice guys, super genuine guys. And I think that's you get them at a stage in their career where really they're humbled and they're really just trying to find their path and find their way amongst. I mean, look at them. There are dozens and dozens of these guys that are just
so
really amazing golfers.
Again, they are so good. Yeah. I mean, folks, you want to see some great golf, and when you come out here and you watch this, you don't know who you're looking at. Who is the Scotty Scheffler?
No,
you don't know who that next guy is. As you watch, you're going to say, "Who?" Now, I saw this kid Tootin on 18, and I just watched him play 18, and I was like, "Yeah, that looks." I've been around a long time this game, and I said that looks like one. And sure enough, I look on the leaderboard. He's one of the 3 guys that's tied for the lead at -4.
That's awesome.
If you've been around the game at all, you can kind of tell the guys. Your boy, by the way, Jovan Rabula, he goes off. He's in the last group of the day. Let's hope he's in the last group
My
Sunday.
God, when is that?
156.
156.
But I think that might be Eastern. I don't know. I think that is Central.
Okay.
He's playing with 2 former PGA Tour players, TK Kim and Brian Ritchie.
I don't know TK Kim. I remember that name.
Yeah, so he's playing with him and Brian Ritchie, and they will start on 10. He's starting on the backside at 156. So there you go.
Wow.
The TOC guy, Jovan Rebula. So we'll be squeezing for him as well.
Definitely.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you as always. Great stuff. Great seeing you out here. Thank you for the continued support of the Thom Abraham Show as always.
We love it. You do a great
and the radio
job.
Station.
You and Chad. Hey, Chad.
And
good
our
seeing
app.
you, brother.
Appreciate it, Tom.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I brought my folks up here. They love the golf. They love it. They're in heaven right now. So they're over there at that the patio lounge, and who knows?
I'll call you at noon and find you.
Yeah, give me a holler. I'd love for you to meet them.
All right. Appreciate you.
TA, thanks, brother.
Good stuff. All right, we'll get a break in here. We'll come back and set you up for hour number 2 next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show. From the Ledges, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This April, the KORN Ferry Tour returns to the Rocket City for the 2022 Huntsville Championship at the Ledges. Experience the beauty and drama of the Ledges in person as golf's rising stars chase their PGA Tour dreams. From the first man on the green to the roar of the crowd when the final putt drops. Be a part of every moment on the mountain. April 28th to May 1st. Tickets to be a part of the action are on sale now at HuntsvilleChampionship.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Did you know that your car, truck, or SUV may be worth over 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and we'd love your trade-in for a personalized custom factory order on a 2022 Explorer, Expedition, Ranger, or F-150. You'll get exactly the color and options you want, and Woody Anderson Ford will save you 5% off MSRP, plus you'll get any additional Ford factory rebates. Or if you need a new ride today, choose a Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicle. We have over 100 to choose from. Our Ford Gold certified or low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. They've passed a 172-point inspection by certified technicians, come with our 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. At Woody Anderson Ford, whether it's a new order or a pre-owned, we promise to always do the right thing. Corner of George and Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job.
Welcome back to Thom Abraham Show. I mentioned to Chad Tootin and the fact that he is one of the guys that is tied at -4. There are now 5 guys tied for the lead at -4. Eric Barnes, Brandon Matthews, Patrick Fishburne, Chad Tootin, and Tom Lovelady. They are all Americans. And Tootin, I don't know anything about him. But I watched him play 18, and I just liked the way he just handled himself out there, his swing. It was just nice. Well, he made the turn from 18 to 1. He was 2 under, and he threw it in. He was actually 1 under at that time. He threw it in the jar on his second shot on number 1. And number 1 is playing, it's got to be playing 475 yards, par 4. So I don't know how far his second shot was, but he threw it in a jar for an eagle. Woo. And then he turned around and made birdie on number 2. So he went to start the front side, which is his second 9. He went eagle, birdie. And he shares the lead at 4 under. All right, coming up next. We are actually open lines coming up next. So if you want to get in, you can get in. 256-576-4977. Tell me about your Ledges experience or your experience around professional golf. 256-576-4977. I got some thoughts about the draft tonight as well. It's all coming up right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Trash Pandas continue their homestand tonight against the Birmingham Barons. Gates open early at 5 p.m. for happy hour, where fans can enjoy pregame discounted drafts and live music at the Inline Electric Rock Porch. It's also the first bobblehead giveaway of the season. That's right, the first 2,000 fans are getting a Reed Detmers bobblehead. Get your tickets now at TrashPandasBaseball.com. Let's rock it.
Outdoor season is coming. Can't wait.
Here at Brooks & Collier, neither can we. Outdoor season is also grilling season.
And we have plenty of grills and smokers in stock from Traeger, Blaze, and Big Green Egg.
There's the greenhouse, new indoor items and home furnishings as well.
Whatever it takes. Browse over 2 acres of furnishings. Can't wait.
How about you? North Alabama's indoor and outdoor living headquarters for over 75 years.
813 Meridian Street and at brooksandcollier.com.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now, because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken and the Louisiana-style Go Fish, a whitefish over rice topped with shrimp etouffee. And Baumhauer's is fighting inflation with some new affordable favorites. Visit Baumhauer's on the South Parkway today.
Oh, won't you stick with me, baby? I'm going to make a lot of bread. I mean both money and actual bread. But right now I need dough, 'cause my delivery truck's dead. And by dough I mean money. Trucks don't run on bread.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but with personalized discounts that save you money, Progressive Commercial keeps you humming along. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I need more dough. Need with an N. I need more dough. Need with a K.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Christine Lisi. NFL Draft Day is finally here. This will be the 5th time in the last 16 years that a quarterback will not be drafted with the top overall pick, a non-QB, going to Jacksonville at number 1, 7 Eastern ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern ABC, ESPN TV, and other ESPN platforms. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting Suns guard Devin Booker's progressing on a return soon from a strained hamstring. Possibly could be for Game 6 tonight or Game 7, potential Game 7 Saturday in that first-round NBA playoff series. Phoenix up 3-2. Center Nikola Jokic says he'll sign what's believed to be the largest Supermax contract extension in NBA history with Denver this offseason. According to ESPN's Bobby Marks, he's eligible to receive a Supermax worth $254 million over 5 years. Baseball, Braves outfielder Ronald Acuna Jr. returns from a torn ACL tonight against the Cubs.
Bring that playoff intensity every day to our shows.
Bring it on, Chomp. Let's go.
Okay, maybe just for Drew DeArmond.
Ding. Me.
Listen for Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew. Weekday mornings starting at 7 on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby.
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show, on location at the Ledges for the Huntsville Classic of the Huntsville Championship of the KORN FERRY Tour, which is underway here. Round 1 is underway. A bunch of players now on the putting green, getting ready for the later on sessions that they'll be playing all throughout the day. It's like 144 players in this deal here, and then they'll cut the field basically in half for the weekend. But right now, everybody is out there. There is a group of guys that lead this thing right now at 4 under par. Nope, now Patrick Fishburne has made a birdie to get to 5 under par. So the lead is now 5 under par for Patrick Fishburne, Eric Barnes, Shad Tootin, Tom Lovelady, all at 4 under, right behind him. Now, you don't know a lot of these names. There are names that you do know, though, that have come back down from the big tour. They're trying to get their card back and get on to the PGA Tour. The way this works is the top 25 guys in points at the end of the year will automatically move up to the big tour. The other thing that they've done is if you win a KORN FERRY Tour event, you're in the U.S. Open, and that's kind of cool. Winning a KORN FERRY event will put you in the U.S. Open. So there are names out here that you will recognize as well, but just some great golf being played for sure. All right, Grumpy wants to know whether or not I got a chance to look at the monster car getting slammed into the wall on the last lap at Talladega by Kyle Larson. I don't know why no one's talking about it. No one even mentioned it. 10-second video. Take a peek at it. I have seen it. I saw it because I saw the tweet that Denny Hamlin put up that has landed Denny Hamlin in NASCAR sensitivity training. I don't know if you heard about this, Grizz, at all, but basically, yeah, I'm going to give you the story here for the most part. Now, what happened was,
is that the same one that Kyle Busch when he sucker punched somebody? Logano?
Yeah.
Did he have the same sensitivity
No,
training?
that's different. That's not sensitivity training. This is sensitive. That's anger management. That's a whole other
assault,
thing.
Brother.
Now, let me set this up. So Kyle Larson is half Asian, all right? Let me tell you that right off the top. He's part Asian. I don't know if it's half or what the percentage is, but Kyle Larson is part Asian. Okay, Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson are very good friends. They are very close. Denny Hamlin is partners with Michael Jordan in ownership of the 11-23 team. 11 for Denny Hamlin, 23 for Michael Jordan. It's called the 11-24 team.
Correct.
They have Bubba Wallace as their driver of the 23 car. Of course, the 23 car, Michael Jordan. And they also have the Monster Energy number 45 car of Kurt Busch, which is, of course, Michael Jordan's other number. His baseball number was 45, and he wore it briefly when he came back to the NBA. So they have the 23 and 45 car, okay? All right, so I'm establishing this. So Kyle Larson, the good friend of Denny Hamlin, on the last lap, he makes a move to pass and pops out of line. And when he pops out of line to pass, he did send the 45 directly into the wall. Now, the 45 kind of made an evasive move, but Larson, I mean, this is the last lap of Talladega. This is what happens. He pulled out. So what happens is when he pulled out, he kind of brushed the 45. The 45 goes into the wall, right? Hits the wall, bounces back towards the track, and hits the 23. So Kyle Larson's move took out both of Denny Hamlin's cars.
That's what we want to see.
So let me, right? So that's racing, right? Rubbin is racing. That was racing, and yeah. There's nothing against, Kyle Larson's not getting any heat about that at all.
And that's the thing about that is that's why I love like the older drivers, because like this one, like this kind of stuff, tweeting and all this other stuff and sucker punching people.
Yeah.
Like that's not the way to do it. Like I want to see some Dale Earnhardt, like, pushing guys out of the way and making it fun again.
And Larson's got an old soul. Larson is a young guy that races like an old soul. You know what I mean? He's got an old soul. So anyway, so what happens is on Monday, Denny Hamlin puts up a meme, okay? And in the meme, it is a famous scene from, is it The Simpsons, I think, or from it might be American Dad or something like that. It was one of those Fox cartoons. And it's a famous little scene where, you know what the stereotype is about how Asian women drive, that the worst drivers on the planet are Asian women, right? So there's this scene from The Simpsons where there's an Asian woman driving a car, and she says, hey, I'm going to move, I'm moving over, or hey, anybody, I'm moving over. How many? And she's doing it with an accent, with an Asian accent, right? And so she says it. So he superimposes Kyle Larson's name over the woman, where she says in the thick Asian accent, is it okay if I move over? And while she's saying, is it okay if I move over, she darts her car to the right, and she hits like three people.
I have
right?
seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it.
It's
you know what I'm talking
Family
about,
Guy,
right?
I believe.
It's Family Guy or something like that. It's a famous scene from one of those cartoons, one of them Fox cartoons.
Yes.
So anyway, so Larson said, so Denny Hamlin, who remember is very good friends with Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
So he writes on a caption. He says, "This is all I got to say," and Larson laughs. Larson thinks it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Right. He laughs.
If I was Larson, I'd probably laugh too.
Well, here comes the woke mob. I mean, they get all over Denny Hamlin for his racist tweet.
Yep.
Calling it a racist tweet.
That was half of Dane Cook's, monologues. I mean, that was half of his stuff. So
they lose their mind over his racist tweet. He pulls the tweet down. He ends up being disciplined by NASCAR, and they are sending him to sensitivity training because he posted a video of a funny thing from Family Guy about how Asian women drive, and it's a stereotype, and it is the guy who is responsible for putting Bubba Wallace on the track is being called a racist. I mean, now look, what Denny Hamlin is a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. I mean, you can't even. Denny Hamlin is garbage. The way he, what's going on with him and his wife, and
I've not been a big fan of Denny Hamlin.
He's a jerk. All right, Denny Hamlin is a jerk. What Denny Hamlin is not is a racist.
No.
Okay, and the tweet was not racist. It was locker room. And then let me tell you something. The locker room is totally off limits now. I mean, totally off limits. And the thing is, it's because all of this stuff is public now. It's because of social media. That's something that you just send that to your buddy. If you want to do that, you send it to your buddy. You DM it to him or whatever. But you put something like that on Twitter, somebody, and it only takes one, somebody is going to start by saying it's racist, and it's, oh, wait, wait, that is racist, isn't it? He's using a stereotype about Asian women. I mean, come on.
It's something that honestly, when you see it, you do see it on social media all the time, and nobody bats an eye, especially on TikTok. Like, I mean, that's half the videos of like you see on memes and everything like when you see a meme. That's the thing about posting a meme. Now, I understand if you post a meme and it's like something that is funny and it relates to you and a friend and all this other stuff. That's why they have different Facebook groups. That's why they have all these different areas that you can't post it on your page, so you don't get ridiculed for saying that kind of thing. But if it's like derogatory and negative to a certain way as a meme, that's different. But if it's like something that you all can kind of relate to, I mean, I don't understand the criticalness of how, just posting something like that between drivers is something to blow the top over.
Because it was on social media.
It's not like what Kyle Larson said the year before, right?
Right. It wasn't. That's the funny part too. Is that Larson? Remember, he got himself busted for a year,
and he said
lost
that.
all his
and
sponsors
he said
and everything
that in a
on
Xbox
a private
chat.
But people can. It was something that people could watch, though. Apparently,
he was on Twitch. He was live on
watching.
Twitch, and he was live, and he never should have said it anyway. But I'm just saying, like, you'd be surprised how many people's Xbox Live chats back in the day would probably get you get in a lot of trouble for that.
Can you imagine Twitter in the locker room? Can you imagine if people knew from Twitter what is said in the locker room, athlete to athlete? I mean, because you want to talk about some of the most vile stuff, and I always had a good time with the NFL alumni. When I was running PR for the NFL Alumni Association in Tennessee, and I ran all their golf tournaments, and I was their tournament director and all that kind of stuff. Let's be honest, 80%, probably 70% of the guys, 65% of the guys in the alumni are African American, because the NFL is made up largely of African Americans. I mean, the kickers and the punters weren't, but most of the other guys weren't. I mean, Kerry Collins isn't. Some of the quarterbacks that we had stuff that played in that thing weren't. But the guy who was the president of the NFL alumni and his right-hand man both were. Aaron Kinney. Remember Aaron Kinney, the tight end for the Titans? He is he now is a fire chief up in New England. He's African American, obviously. Al Smith, the former linebacker, African American. They used to bust my chops all the time about being Italian. Like, I would be overseeing when everybody was checking in for the tournament, and they would like send one of the guys over to me Al Smith would say to Eddie George, he'd say, "Hey, I want you to go over there and hang out with Abraham. You know how those Italians are around the money. Make sure he's not skimming any of it off the top." You know what I mean? And I would laugh. They would laugh. We would all laugh, and I would make
laughing.
Yeah, and I would make don't laugh. And I would make a crack about stuff, about what kind of food we were serving, or stuff like that.
Too much garlic.
It was
not enough garlic.
It was brutal. I mean, the things that we said to each other were brutal. But I didn't tweet out that, hey, Eddie George says that I need to have a chaperone near the money because I'm Italian. You know what I mean? And Eddie didn't say that. I'm just saying if it were Eddie that said it. I played poker with Eddie George, and it was hilarious. I mean, the shots that we were taking back and forth at each other playing poker at an NFL alumni event that was a one of those casino nights. We did a what do they call it? Monte Carlo night, something like that.
Yes.
And Eddie and I sat down. We were playing poker together, and it was some hilarity ensued in this thing. And I kind of cleaned them out, to be honest with you. But there were there was a lot of comments that were made back and forth that were based on race and nationality. That we cracked up over. But you just can't do it. You can't do it anymore, and you can't do it socially. And I know I'm sounding like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
I thought it was a funny tweet. It was a funny meme. He took the meme down. It was a funny meme. So anyway, yes, Grumpy, I saw it. I don't think that Kyle Larson should be punished for the move that he made. There were guys, 45 was coming up on the outside. Larson pulled out to try and block his run, and 45 ended up in a wall. Rubbing his racing. I think that's fine. And especially at Talladega, you're going to get that kind of racing at Talladega. Grizz, guess who has showed up on location
I can see him
out here?
Hey, John.
Middle of it. Oh, that's right. I forgot you guys can see each other.
I can see him. Hi, John.
Intern John is out. Speaking of Italians, take a look at Intern John. Yeah, you might know what nationality he is. Yeah, you could button up another button on a shirt there. You don't have to let all that Italian, chest hair stick out.
My chest is so big now from working out that I literally can't. So
Danny looks like he's a little bigger than you. I know you guys work out together, but he's putting on. Danny looks yoked, man.
It's called creatine.
Is he taking the
Danny's
creatine?
taking creatine.
I wish he wasn't.
Boys.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It is
for
bad.
You.
It is
Monohydrate.
bad.
Drink a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water. Yes, a lot
bad
of water.
for your kidneys.
Yeah, well, take it in moderation.
And make sure you work out when you do it. Make sure you work out when you do it. We had guys in high school that did it, and all they did was just get big. It was just like you got to actually work out when you do it. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If anyone out there's listening, don't just drink creatine because you think it's going to help.
I say don't take creatine. When I was coaching in college, our offensive line was taking that and using that for a while. I thought that it became banned.
It's all right. They thought that boost drink was going to help us in high school, and all that did was just all we did was just steal more and take like a couple more out.
Well, there's only so much protein. There's only so much protein that your body will take in, and the rest of it you get rid of.
My metabolism in high school though, like I could scarf down like a huge meal the night before and go weigh in for a wrestling match and be like 7 pounds lighter, or 3 or 4 pounds lighter. I mean, no joke.
John, have you ever been to a professional golf tournament before?
Other than the NFL alumni,
it's not a professional golf tournament.
But it's pretty professional to me, even though it is.
Well, they were big time guys.
Yeah. But other than that,
you heard some of the conversation that went. Those guys were brutal.
Oh,
some of the things that were said.
The one, I forgot what his name was. The comedian that was up there. Some of the jokes he was just saying. Like I was like, I don't know how he's letting him slide, but he's confident about him, and I feel like he's gonna.
It seems like comedians can get away with anything unless you're Chris Rock, or unless you're the what was
too soon.
Yeah, too soon. Who was the guy from Kramer from Seinfeld who made the comment about Jewish people?
Name, Kramer.
Yeah, the guy that played Kramer. What's his name? He made that crack about Jewish people, and he got booed and hissed, and then he kind of attacked the crowd, and his career's over. I mean, basically, you haven't seen him in
Michael
anything
Richards.
else. Michael Richards, yeah, Michael Richards made that comment, and so he's done. All right, so you see there are guys on the practice team. The difference between it, those were what you saw at the NFL alumni tournaments, and John used to come and work at the NFL alumni tournaments for me. He would shuttle guys around and stuff. What you saw were professionals playing golf, and most of those guys sucked, except for the punters and the kickers, right? I mean, you remember those guys. I mean, Al Del Greco is a great golfer. In fact, he's a golf coach at the high school down in Birmingham. But there were other guys. Craig Hentrick, fantastic golfer. I mean, really good golfer. The punters and the kickers and the quarterbacks were good golfers. Kerry Collins, a very good golfer. A bunch of those guys. Matt Castle was a very good golfer as well. But this is different. These are professional golfers, not professionals playing golf. These are professional golfers. And when you watch these guys swing and how they handle their business, I mean, it is absolutely amazing. But you, in your role as social media director now for the radio station, well, actually, you're still intern John.
Yeah, well, I'm
until you
moving
graduate Monday.
I'm moving up. Though.
You still think you're
going to
graduate Monday?
I don't know. After that final exam I just took, I have no idea. I feel like I guessed.
You were on a dean's list, and now you might not even graduate?
I feel like I guessed on 98% of that thing.
Did you guess C? C is always the guess. You got to guess. Was it a multiple choice?
It was multiple choice.
C.
Scantron. You don't see those anymore, especially in college. And I was just going Christmas tree. I was just going back and forth.
It's not like a number 2 pencel.
No, you needed a number 2 pencil.
You got to bubble the little things.
Yeah, the bubbles and stuff.
I'm not that old.
Put them through that. Yeah,
I am. We didn't have no Scantron thing or nothing else. We had some.
It was like
old
filling. It literally felt like filling in a ballot sheet. I mean, it was a test.
We had some old blue hair that would actually go through the paper thing and check your answers to make sure that it was right.
You had to make sure you perfectly bubbled it too, because the teacher wouldn't take it.
I might have offended somebody by saying blue hair. I don't know if that would be a problem or not. All right, so Monday you graduate.
Yes.
What is all that noise?
Somebody's filling up a bottle or something back there.
So Monday you graduate, and that's at 10 o'clock at the Von Braun Center.
Yes.
At the VBC.
Yes, it is.
That's good. So somebody's doing my show Monday. So somebody's got to cover for me, Grizz, on Monday. because
You've got it covered.
Intern John is going to graduate. Here's the exciting thing for me. I've got 9 kids, right? John will be the first one to get his 4-year degree in 4 years. Woo-hoo. Now, half of my kids got degrees. So I don't want to say that, they got degrees, and they got good degrees. And I've got a daughter who's got a master's degree from Alabama A&M. I forget where she got her undergraduate degree. I got another one that went to UAH, graduated from FGCU. I got one that graduated from South Florida, USF, graduated from down there. So I got kids that got degrees. Tommy's got 2 degrees. He's got 2 2-year degrees. 2 associate degrees do not equal a bachelor's degree. I tried to tell him that.
I'm still thinking about that one.
He's like, I got an associate's, and then I got a second associate's. In 3 years, he got 2 2-year degrees. Figure that out. But then, but now he's making buku dollars.
Didn't even need him.
Didn't need it. Well, he did, because the act of going to college and getting the degree sets you up for the ability to be stick-to-itiveness and to work hard. You will use yours, because your degree is going to be what, in communications?
Communication arts.
Communication arts?
Yes.
Is this an art?
This is an art, yes.
What we're doing is an art. Grizz, isn't your degree in communications arts, or is your degree in basket weaving? What's
basket
your degree
weaving. Actually, I'm a very good basket weaver. I'm a very good knitter, too.
It's my minor, actually.
Is basket weaving?
Yeah.
I can knit really well.
Minor was your girlfriend?
That's the one thing you'd be able to sew.
That's an offensive joke.
Grizz, did you hear what I said? I said I thought your minor was your girlfriend. You missed it.
We've got a dumb button.
His girlfriend's young, okay?
Yes.
Well, she's not that. She's legal. I mean,
whoa. She's not a minor.
She looks like a minor. She looks like she's
Where is this
15
going? Are we going to
old.
break?
She's not. No, she's like 19, but she looks like she's 15 years old. Anyway, so congratulations kind of on Monday. We'll see if you go ahead and get that done on Monday. And are you working the baseball game tonight?
I am, today and tomorrow night. So.
Yesterday, which was Education Day, you were out there on the field education. Did you know they hit a – did you see that, Grizz? They had a walk-off home run in the 9th inning.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the tunnel.
You were in the tunnel?
I was in the tunnel watching that. I was standing out there because I was waiting to leave. I was talking to Tricky Ricky, and I was like, are we going? And then I saw that home run, and I was like, all right. I'm out of here.
So down 4-0 and then down 8-4, and then you got Braxton Martinez with a walk-off home run to left field. I mean, I watched it on 31.6 as I was in the studio. So, yeah, I'm going to try to get out there tonight for the Thursday night.
So you're working tonight down there?
I am working
John
tonight.
works in promotions for the Trash Pandas, as well as doing our thing as well. So that's good. So you're working tonight, and then you're going to be here with the boys in the morning.
Yes.
So we're trying to keep you pretty busy.
I love to stay busy.
So what should they look at in the social media our pages? You're taking some shots, you're posting some stuff, putting some behind the scenes in real time. I saw you taking some pictures a few minutes ago. Have you posted those yet?
Not yet.
You got to put them right up. I mean, this is like live.
So yeah, I mean, I'll get them right after I get off of this. You kind of brought me to the chair.
All right, let me get you off the air then. All right, that's a good job by you. All right, it's intern John. My youngest son and my second one to go into this business. All right, let's get a break. And when we come back, Steve Merril will join us from ProSportsInfo.com. Did you know that the draft is one of the most bet-on things in the sports calendar? Talk about that with Steve Merril next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
NBA playoffs game 6 tonight between the Sixers and the Raptors. Philadelphia, the 1.5-point road favorite, 10.5 total. In the West, the Suns a 2-point favorite at the Pelicans in game 6. The over-under at 214. Mavericks and Jazz a pick'em, 209.5 the total in game 6. The 2022 NFL draft underway tonight. Aiden Hutchinson of Michigan, the favorite to be taken first overall by the Jaguars at -180. Georgia defensive end Trayvon Walker +175. Oregon defensive end Kayvon Thibodeau +900. 9 days till the 2022 Kentucky Kentucky Derby. Epicenter, the odds-on favorite at plus 400. Messier and Taba each at plus 650. Zandon plus 1800.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Gunner's Landing is one of the Tennessee Valley's finest golf experiences. Just 35 minutes from downtown Huntsville, Gunner's Landing's 18-hole championship Jewel is open to the public 7 days a week. Located in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, Gunner's Landing offers you a golf experience like no other. With beautiful Lake Gunnersville views throughout the round, Gunner's Landing is golf the way nature intended. Gunner's Landing's Club Repair Shop offers a full range of services, including re-gripping and adjusting the lofts and lies of your clubs, even putters. Since the work is done in-house, your clubs will be returned to you in a timely manner. Unmatched in the North Alabama area, it is Gunner's Landing. Schedule your tee time today at GunnersLandingGolf.com. That's GunnersLandingGolf.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time and show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roof is reliable customer service that you deserve. And we have the resources to meet all manufacturers certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing. Fleming Roofing. We have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates. Residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Prodigal son, an amazing story, basically who literally wished his father dead, ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen.
For this Thursday, expect plenty of sunshine. High temperatures will top out near 80 degrees for the afternoon. For your Thursday night, expect a partly cloudy sky. Low temperatures will fall into the mid and upper 50s for the overnight. It looks like rain will return back to the forecast Saturday night. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Local sports is covered right here.
Well, appreciate what you guys do for sports, but also for high school sports and taking time to talk to us. That means a lot, and appreciate what you guys do, and appreciate you having us on.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
And welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. Segment of the show is brought to you by our good friends at North Alabama Mortgage, serving all of Florida, Alabama, Tennessee. It's North Alabama Mortgage with conventional VA, FHA, and USDA loans. You want to buy a place up here on the ledges, you got that kind of horsepower, certainly North Alabama Mortgage can help you get it done. They also can help you get your offer accepted. Right now, it's tough to buy a house. I mean, it's so competitive out there, but they can help you get your offer accepted. Just go to NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. Learn more about how you can get that done as we continue to broadcast here from the beautiful ledges high above Huntsville, some 1,500 feet above the floor of Huntsville proper here at the KORN Ferry Tour event that is taking place up here. It's the Huntsville Championships, and it is absolutely beautiful weather, and it's going to be beautiful weather all weekend long. Blowing a little bit up here. It's a little bit, if you're down somewhere in the valley and you think it's warm and you don't have to worry about, shorts and a T-shirt or whatever, you may want to kind of grab a light jacket just in case, because it's always cooler up here. It is blowing. I did notice that the security guy has now taking his jacket off. So the fact that he has taken his jacket off means it must be warming up out there. Yes, Grizz, I do have security just about 15 feet away from me. I'm assuming that's specifically for me here, the security.
Well,
to
they knew,
make sure
they knew
that
a
nobody
celebrity was
tries to get too
they
close
must have
to
knew
the
Burt
big
Reynolds
dog.
was in town,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, forget the golfers. I mean, I'm out here, right? So they're like, we need to have security to make sure the big dog doesn't get accosted.
Real famous guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's dead. What do you mean? No, that Burt Reynolds is dead. You can at least use a live guy.
It was a happy
Goodness.
Golf, Happy Gilmore,
Gracious
whatever.
Almighty.
Whatever.
Happy Gilmore. Bob Barker more than Happy Gilmore. All right. Joining us now, a guy that does a tremendous job, Steve Merril from ProSportsInfo.com, and he joins us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Steve, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Tom. Doing well.
Always nice to be broadcasting from a golf tournament, from a professional golf tournament. You know what I mean? And out here on the KORN Ferry Tour, it's been something that has been really good. And, on the PGA Tour, with the proliferation of legal sports betting now throughout the country, I think we're up to 34, 35 states. Golf has been a big thing for that. I mean, guys are doing like the individual matchups. I know it's not something that you necessarily cover, but it's kind of like NASCAR. You can do guys to finish in the top three, and then you can do guys against other guys, and it has become a pretty big deal when it comes to sports betting.
No, exactly. That's the exact analogy I was going to use as well. Is I handicap NASCAR, and I don't dabble with the golf. I know a lot of professional bettors, especially at WagerTalk.com, that do, and they do quite well. The one difference I'll say about golf compared to NASCAR is that NASCAR is probably more competitive than it's ever been this year with the new car. But with that said, there's still maybe 10 guys, maybe 15 at most that can win on a given Sunday out of the 38 or 40 drivers. In golf, you've got several hundred. And you've got literally 20, 30, 40 guys that can win. So you can play more guys on your outright win card, because instead of getting 8-1 and 6-1, Kyle Larson's 4-1 at Dover this week because he's really good there. Everyone in golf is going to be almost double digits, and you get a lot of 40 or 50 to ones that hit all the time, whereas in NASCAR it happens maybe once every season. But the head-to-head matchups also is definitely where the pros do very well because you can eliminate everyone else and just find a play on or play against driver or golfer, very similar in that regard.
And I know you hate it as a handicapper, but, man, Talladega, again, very, very exciting race Very exciting in the final laps, and Ross Chastain getting the win, and I don't even know what he was. I mean, he does have a win earlier this year, so I would imagine it wasn't like he was, some ridiculously long odds, but he probably was 4,000 or 5,000 to 1 anyway, right?
Well, yeah, the thing about Talladega, from a handicapping perspective, it's very difficult. We've talked about that. But as a fan, obviously, it's exciting. And Chastain's a perfect example. The guy's running third on the final turn of the final lap of the race. He had not led a lap the entire race, and he wins, because the top two guys basically take each other out. The one thing about Talladega and Daytona, though, it's kind of like golf because you do get a lot more big long shots. In fact, everybody going into that race last week was double-digit odds, 10 to 1 or higher. Denny Hamlin, Logano, Blaney were all around that range. Bubba Wallace was one of the top 5 favorites. It's something you never see. Chastain was around 28 to 1, so not a huge upset, but he was about 15th or 20th on the list there. And of course, the thing about Talladega is everyone's double digits, but Chastain, who normally might be 100 to 1 on another track, is only 28 to 1 because the odds makers know that this randomness can happen, and pretty much anybody can win on a track like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're just taking a shot in the dark. There's no doubt about it. But it was fun racing to watch for sure. But I love plate racing. I love that they're doing it at Atlanta now. I just love that door handle stuff. A lot of the drivers don't like it either, but it is really exciting to watch. That's for sure. Steve Merril with us, ProSportsInfo.com. All right, NFL draft tonight. I did not realize that the NFL draft is actually one of the most bet-on things. And, of course, it's at Vegas this year besides, but that the NFL draft itself was one of the most wagered-on things, off of the field, outside of an actual game that there is out there. There's a lot of action, and there's a lot of in-draft betting, if you will, as well, that takes place for the NFL draft. And it's kind of fascinating when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, a little surprised. If you'd asked me, I probably wouldn't say it was that heavily bet on just because I don't really focus on it. But I guess maybe it is. And, of course, I will tell you this. The one year I did focus on it was 2 years ago, 2020, when we had no sports and we still had the NFL draft. So if you're looking at the numbers from that year, it's probably definitely one of the most bet on things. It was the only thing going on in that April night as Tagliabue was in the basement with Joe Biden, handicapping the draft. But
right.
I do think that it's become more bet on recently, and obviously now with 20 states having legalized sports betting. And something else to keep in mind, Tom, is that Vegas until recently really couldn't put these props up because they had very sticky gaming regulations there. But now they can do it, and of course it's in Vegas tonight on the Strip. It's going to be a huge event, and I would agree it's probably the most bet on draft ever, other than maybe 2020 and there was nothing else going on. The limits though were very low, so once again, the number of bets might be high, but I know for sure the volume as dollars is nothing like an NFL regular season. Just from the mere fact, the odds makers are very nervous about the draft. These are soft numbers. It's a pure information thing, and it can change on a dime. And for that reason, you're not going to be able to get much down. When you get 50,000 down on an NFL side on a regular Sunday, maybe you can get 1,000 down or 500 down now on that same type of draft prop.
Yeah, that does make sense. You said 20 states. I thought it was closer to 30, 32 now that either have it or will have it here in this upcoming season.
That's true, but you'd have to check because every state is kind of different on the regulations, but it could be closer to 30. Not every state allows the same type of props and the bets or anything. So, 20 is probably an underestimate. But basically half the country. I think it's fair to say if it's 20 to 30, that's half the country, right? 25 would be the sweet median there. And obviously that makes a big difference. It's a televised event. And the bottom line is, getting back to what you said about the popularity of the draft and betting more so than people realize, is that it's football. And, this might be the NBA playoffs. There might be some baseball, hockey playoffs about to start. But football trumps all. And it's just such a mega king betting sport that even the draft gets a lot of attention.
I wonder if you can bet on what state's going to be the last state to get legalized betting. I wonder if you can bet the betting, because I would put Alabama as the. I mean, they don't have the lottery yet. I think Alabama somehow is going to screw this up, and we have more bettors per capita. I mean, it's really amazing. It's one of the top states in the country in terms of bettors per capita. But as far as having the legalized app, and it's funny because the USFL, which has got plenty of action on it right now, is based in Alabama. And, the folks that do go to those games, and nobody really goes outside of a Birmingham Stallion game, but they can't bet on a game in the state of Alabama. They can't do any live betting in the stadium and everything. And you would think that the USFL would have put itself in a place where they could really embrace the action a lot more, because that's the thing that's going to give the USFL and the XFL staying power, another opportunity to bet on football in the spring.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at one of my maps right now, and they've got the current states, the projected likely legal in 2022, which is this year, and there's about 8 of those. And then there's, I believe, 8 states right now. It says 2023 or later or never, and there's only 8 of them remaining out of 50. And Bama, of course, is one of them. South Carolina is another one. But here are the 2 that are crazy. Well, Hawaii and Texas, Hawaii and Alaska, not a surprise. So there's 9, actually. I missed Hawaii. But Hawaii and Alaska, not a surprise. South Carolina, Alabama, a little disappointing. And Idaho, not a surprise. But California and Texas are 2 of the 9. And that just puts it in perspective of how big this could get still. And how California doesn't do it sooner than later makes no sense to me, because they need the money more than anybody. Although it's such a political mess out there, I guess they just can't get their act together to legalize anything. But right. Texas and
Except
California,
for dope. They can legalize the dope. That's all they can legalize is dope. They can get
I
that
think
through.
Alabama will happen maybe sooner than we all thought. Because when you said that, I thought the same thing. I knew where you were going with that. But Alaska and Hawaii will probably be the last 2. But yeah, I think Alabama with those states around them, more importantly with Tennessee around them having it. It's a border state, and that's why my state, Virginia, got it sooner than later, because they saw the money going to West Virginia and all the other northern states. I think that'll help Alabama, whereas like Alaska, Hawaii are kind of standalones. They might be the last.
One of the things that, as far as betting on the draft tonight, we look at the SEC and we look at Alabama players, Georgia players, that type of thing. And, the over-under for Alabama players drafted in the first round is 2, which is lower than usual. I mean, usually they have a few more first-rounders than that, but right now it's 2. Evan Neal for sure is going to be a first-rounder. Jamison Williams has definitely been climbing a lot of draft boards, and it looks like he is a first-rounder. And so then the question becomes, is there another one that can get drafted in the first round out of Alabama? But they're at 2. Georgia's at 3.5. That's a lot of – you got 4 Georgia players drafted in the first round for that to go over. I think that one could go under. But I know people get into the conference stuff too. Total SEC players in the first round, 10.5. I think there was 11 or 12 last year. There was 13 a couple of years ago. 10.5 is the over-under for SEC players, which is basically more than the rest of the conferences combined.
Sure, and once again, handicapping this really comes down to 1 or 2 players, because like you said, the Alabama one is very interesting, because something to point out, just a general handicapping principle here with the draft, is if you've got a solid 1 for sure. So it comes down to, will it be another player, because you push. It's either a win or a push if you know for sure you're going to get 2 of them, and it's almost a sure thing at that point. So usually there's very heavy juice for that reason, but this is something you see also with the season win totals. Whenever it's a low number, you're talking about single-digit numbers here. Obviously, the difference of 1 moves the needle 10, 20% on the bet, and I think that's a very interesting situation, something you want to look for. If you know for sure you've got 1 guy and probably that second guy, you basically can't lose at that point if the over-under is 2. 3.5 is a different story, obviously. There's no pushes there. But same thing with the conference players. You can pretty much slot 7, 8, 9, 10 guys, so it really comes down to just handicapping 1 or 2 positions. These lines are pretty sharp, and keep in mind, as you know, Tom, they've been out for months now. Some of the odds have been out for months, and then these other odds have been out for weeks. So everything's kind of baked in at this point. The sharp money has already hit them. What's going to move them now is information. And I'll be honest, the odds makers really hope for chaos, because everything is kind of price based on the mock drafts, and everyone kind of has the same mock drafts. Like when a Daniel Jones went 6 with the Giants a few years ago, that shocked everybody. That's the kind of stuff which really makes the odds makers money, because the bettors are basically going on the mock draft information that's already out there and priced into the line.
Somebody got word about Trayvon Walker. Because he was considered for the entirety of the mock draft season, if you will, from the end of the college season to now. He was middle of the first round. Then all of a sudden it was going to be Hutchinson or Thibodeau. Those were the 2 guys that everybody was talking about. Then all of a sudden, Todd McShay and Peter King and a couple others said they got word that Jacksonville's taken Trayvon Walker. Now he's the odds-on favorite. Minus money for him to be the first pick. And it's interesting, use a horse term here, is you can bet the exacta. You can bet the top three, the trifecta, if you will. And right now, the favorite is in the trifecta exact order is Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, and then Stingley, and it's only 2-1. I'd be careful with that, man. I mean, because you're right. I think chaos is something's going to happen. But they're saying Walker, Hutchinson, Stingley, 2-1. That's not enough of a payback for me.
Right, it's something else to keep in mind. We're not talking about really any quarterbacks this year, and that's the first time in recent history I can remember where there's no, sure shot top 5 quarterbacks. 2 or 3 of them in the top 10. There's maybe 5 guys total in this draft, even that people are looking at. So I think that also makes it much more random than before, because when you're talking about edge rushers and offensive linemen, you can really debate who to take over another guy. Where in years past we kind of knew which quarterbacks teams wanted and kind of where they were going to go. So I think that's the one thing that makes this draft really interesting to watch tonight, and why it's going to be more random. And like you just said, you got a guy that was projected just a few weeks ago, and some of the mocks I was looking at was projected as the 12th best overall player in the draft, now going first. And as you said, that changed drastically in the last few days. In fact, on WagerTalk.com, we had one of the Caesars Sportsbook trader directors on the other day, and he said that information had just come out, a few days earlier, and they made drastic moves on that because they didn't see it coming either. So, the odds makers are kind of reacting just like the betting markets and the bettors are reacting. I think that definitely going to be more surprises tonight when it goes live.
And Malik Willis, the odds-on favorite to be the first quarterback taken. You can also bet the order of the quarterbacks drafted. And Willis, Pickett, Ritter, Corral, Matt Corral, that's 5-2 if they go in that order. Willis, Pickett, Ritter, Corral. I don't know where you are on Malik Willis. I know you're in Virginia. Liberty is in Virginia. You're stuck between the Steelers and the Washington Commanders. I think that you are a Commanders fan growing up and probably still squeeze for them when you have the opportunity. I'm not sure. But I'll tell you, this Malik Willis thing, I do believe that he's going to be the first quarterback picked, and I also believe he's going to be a bust. I absolutely believe that it's going to happen because – he played 2 games against Power 5 teams last year. The first one was against a bad Syracuse team where he only threw for 205 yards. He did have 3 TDs. 2 of them came in, after they were down 21-7 late in that game and they were catching runs. He was sacked 6 times in that loss. And then there's the Ole Miss game. And the Rebs, they were a better than average SEC team. They were okay defensively, maybe the 4th or 5th best team in the conference. They completely dominated him. I mean, he was 15 of 25 for 173 yards, 3 interceptions, and was sacked 9 times for a mobile quarterback. I don't get it. We watched him at Auburn, and he couldn't get near the field. This gravy train is all about Malik Willis, and I think he's going to get drafted first round. I think he's going to be a bust.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing on the draft in general. First of all, it's all about risk-reward. Whether you're doing sports betting or you're trading in the financial markets, it's all risk-reward, right? Malik Willis could end up being a superstar. He could also end up being a flop. The thing is, you definitely don't risk like a top 5 or top 10 first-round pick on someone like that, right? I mean, this is a guy, and he's at a small college. I know he played at Auburn, but he's also 6 feet tall. I mean, he's 6 foot 225. Yeah. They love this mobility. They want the next Lamar Jackson. But I'll give you a good Washington Redskin command. I'll never be a Commander fan, by the way. That ship has sailed. Had they gone Red Hogs, there's a possibility they might have brought me back into the stable, but they lost their chance there. But, how about Robert Griffin III? Great analogy, right? And he had a great first season. Then he got hurt, which is, I kept saying, he's one hit away from getting hurt because he was running all the time. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. So, this could be a flash in the pan, but he's not big. He's still not a pocket passer like these big 6'3" guys. And I'll take a guy like Kenny Pickett, who's 6'3", played at Pitt, or you got a guy, like Carson Strong, even in Nevada, or at Hal at UNC, some of the big power conferences. Malik Willis might end up being a superstar. I think if it's a 3rd or 4th round pick, you jump on him, but not a first round or a top 5 or top 10. Risk reward there is just not good in my opinion.
I was in Nashville with Vince Young, and Vince was a lovely guy. He would come over and talk. He was on the show a number of times. I helped him out with his golf tournament. He was a very, very good guy. He was the Rookie of the Year in the AFC. He got that based on 2 broken plays, the one against the Giants and the one against the Houston Texans, where they were remarkable plays, but you don't make a career out of broken plays. I mean, they were stunning plays. It was, oh, my God, he's the Rookie of the Year. And I was good friends with the offensive coordinator of the Titans at the time, and he told me, he said, this guy, we can't do anything with him. Yeah, he can't understand the defenses. He's not, he throws to the wrong guy all the time. I got to tell him exactly who to give the ball to. You can't do any option routes with him or anything. He says, I'm telling you, he won't be in the league 3 years. And it turned out to be the same thing. Rookie of the year and gone once they got film on him. And that's the other thing, is these defensive coordinators, once they get film on you and they start making their adjustments, look out. You better be a stud when that happens.
Well, exactly right. And let's keep in mind, that's, the Rob RG3 analogy, same thing, right? It's sophomore slump there. A lot of these guys have those sophomore slumps. It's not a fluke because teams get a read on these guys, and nowadays I think it's even less of a timetable because everyone's running. They're used to the mobile quarterbacks now, so you're not going to catch them off guard like Vince Young or Robert Griffin III did, a couple of decades ago. So, look, I don't think there's any great quarterbacks. And I will say, look, you have to have a quarterback. So teams are going to reach more than we've ever seen. In years past, Willis might have been the fifth guy on the board. He might have gone third round like he should. But now they need quarterbacks, and there's just no superstar quarterbacks this year. So teams are going to reach. And in that regard, maybe it's worth the gamble. If you don't have to have another position, maybe you take the shot. But it's definitely risky.
Always appreciate it. Great work. Steve Merril, ProSportsInfo.com. We've got baseball going on. We got NBA playoffs going on. He's all over that stuff. Steve, how can they take advantage of your service and get a pick?
Yeah, they like to try a free best bet. All they have to do is mention the show and email me directly, steve@ProSportsInfo.com. Mention that you're the Thom Abraham Show, and I'll give you a free best bet. You can choose baseball or basketball. Steve Merril, steve@ProSportsInfo.com.
All right, man. Perfect. Good stuff. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back with a final segment. Who was the last first-rounder picked by each SEC team? Some of these might surprise you. We'll give you that as a little going-away present from the Ledges here at the Huntsville Championship on the KORN Ferry Tour. It's the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us, too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken and the Louisiana-style Go Fish, a whitefish over rice topped with shrimp etouffee. And Baumhauer's is fighting inflation with some new affordable favorites. Visit Baumhauer's on the South Parkway today.
This April, the KORN Ferry Tour returns to the Rocket City for the 2022 Huntsville Championship at the Ledges. Experience the beauty and drama of the Ledges in person as golf's rising stars chase their PGA Tour dreams. From the first man on the green to the roar of the crowd when the final putt drops. Be a part of every moment on the mountain. April 28th to May 1st. Tickets to be a part of the action are on sale now at HuntsvilleChampionship.com.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? Two Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo.
I want that money!
You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm back. But a gift of a strike, and it's 3-1. Well, that was a gift. And you know what? As Acuna learns, you got to stay in there. Don't drop the bat. Don't concede anything. Get in there. Even though that pitch was a little hotter than that was a gift. Yeah. See if you can take advantage of it. The 3-1, and Acuna swings. It's a high drive to left center field. Taylor back at the wall. It is gone. A grand slam for Acuna.
'Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back.
Could happen. Could happen tonight. Ronald Acuna will be back in the lineup for the Atlanta Braves tonight. Welcome back. Final segment of the show. And this one, of course, brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. Ross Roberts, his team, his crew, doing a tremendous job now bringing you two locations, not one, but two locations for Valley Equipment Rental. One out on the North Parkway, north of Winchester Road, where they're catering predominantly to the contractors with the bigger excavators and dozers and things like that. But certainly you can head on out there if you've got a need for something like that. And then at the South Parkway, of course, more skid steers and mini excavators and lifts and whatever it is that you need. I'm going to be needing a power washer this weekend. I think I'm going to power wash the patio. I'm not sure. The porch. I suggested it to my wife, and she doesn't know if it's ready yet with the pollen. I think it's ready. Maybe not. I don't know. All right, final segment of the show. Let me tell you, from the of course, with the draft coming up tonight, of course, we're still out here at the KORN Ferry Tour and the Huntsville Championship out at Ledges. I want to thank them for being such great hosts of the show out here. We've had a ball out here, and tomorrow morning, Talking Ball will be here as well. All right, so Alabama, last time they had a first-round draft pick, well, last year. They had three last year. Devontae Smith was selected number 10. Patrick Surtain went number 9, but the first one was Jalen Waddle. He went number 6. Grizz, over or under, or exactly 2 this year? I think 2 this year is the number.
Ooh, yeah, I'm saying 2.
I think it's just 2.
Yeah.
Arkansas's last first rounder was Darren McFadden. Auburn's last one was Derek Brown in 2020. Florida's was Kyle Pitts last year. Georgia, Andrew Thomas, 2020. Kentucky, Josh Allen, 2019. LSU's last first rounder was Jamar Chase last year. Mississippi State, you have to go all the way back to 1975 with Jimmy Webb. Missouri had Blaine Gabbert in 2011. Ole Miss, Eli Manning back in 2004. South Carolina had J.C. Horn in 2021. Tennessee's was Eric Berry 12 years ago. Texas A&M, Myles Garrett, and Vanderbilt, you got to go back to 1984 with Leonard Coleman. Coming up next is Chuck Oliver. This is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Did you know that your car, truck, or